Hi everyone, welcome to the speed build. As you can see, this is a limited pack build and I built it in Tomarang. I had the For Rent pack and I had Jungle Adventures, and to me, those packs go together really well. In my mind, they're kind of both like a hot climate, hot weather kind of deal. So I thought they sort of lend themselves really well to the same sort of style of house. So that's what I've kind of gone for here, is really very much a sort of one that I would imagine would sort of be sort of that Southeast Asian kind of style, to try and blend it in with the existing houses of Tomarang. This is actually the second attempt I had at this build, so it goes a little bit quicker than the first version. I had a general idea of what I wanted to do, what I kind of wanted to build, and the goal of the house. As you can see right at the very end of the video, you'll be able to see sort of it all comes together with the water feature. But for a while, it's going to look a little bit odd, especially that second level just kind of sticking out into nowhere. And the stairs, we have a couple of takes at the stairs, so don't worry about them too much till we get to the end. But as you can see, this one, I kind of, like I said, I knew what I wanted to do with this one and I knew the general style I wanted. So it was pretty quick. And for me, like the For Rent pack, the build items are some of my absolute favorites. So I was really excited to be able to build a house. Basically, I think I use about 90% of the For Rent items and not so much the other packs, but that's okay. And again, because I had already tried to build a house, I kind of knew in my mind the general color schemes that I wanted to use. I absolutely 100% wanted to use that sort of dusky purple, almost like a dusky aubergine kind of color as sort of the main feature, and then mix in some of the woods, some of the lighter colors, just to break it up a little bit. I absolutely adore the wood paneling from For Rent. So I only use it a little bit here, but if I could, I would have used it everywhere. And then when in doubt, with the roofing, if you don't know what to do, add a platform. So that's what I've done here, just to kind of break it up a little bit and almost mirror the veranda balcony that we have on the other side. But the front side is not accessible. It's just decorative, basically. If you wanted to, you could probably add another door and make that sort of a small little balcony out front if you needed the more space. Again, it took me a little while to sort of decide the layout of the house. I kind of knew what I wanted the outside to look like, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do inside. So I just added that little bit on the front to sort of make a bit more of a noticeable entryway. And then we add a sliding glass door on the back, because I feel like that's very, very true to hot weather climates. We always have sliding doors. And then again, more of the beautiful wood. I use that, I think, pretty much everywhere, but downstairs I go tile. In pretty much all the houses I've lived in Australia, we've had tile floors. So for me, it felt very true and very real to sort of that climate. But it's something, if you don't like the tile, definitely feel free to swap it out. It's definitely quite a busy tile, but I was kind of going for a certain color scheme, and that tile definitely fit. I wanted a lot of those kind of warm greens and yellows to go with the oranges and the purple that we already had outside. And then we're back upstairs trying to fit two bedrooms in, and I really wanted like an interesting diagonal wall, but it just doesn't fit. So you'll see in a bit we come back and take that back out. Then we just add the bathroom downstairs, and then I desperately wanted to use these. I adore these windows, so I was really happy that I was able to fit basically like an entire wall. I couldn't quite fit that last little bit at the very top of the roof, but that's okay. No one's gonna look up there. Again, basically just using all the For Rent pack. Again, I just love it so much. I love like the open windows. I love the different, all the different sort of styles you can have with it. And then now we're into the kitchen. Pretty straightforward, just kind of the traditional L shape. Took me a little while. I wasn't 100% sure about this wood color and the bench tops. I wanted that wood color. I didn't love the bench top color. I would have maybe liked a different color, but beggars can't be choosers. We went with it. Here is where I decided that I wanted the kitchen to be a little bit bigger, and I got to add in my diagonal wall. Finally, I had to just put it downstairs instead. Just so we had a bit more of an actual walkway, so it didn't feel like quite so angular as you're trying to get through past the bathroom to the kitchen. Then just adding some upper cabinetry just to kind of fill in some space. At first, I wanted to use the Jungle Adventure appliances, fridge and oven, and then I was like, we'll try and stick to like a reasonable budget, so we put in the cheaper stuff. Not the world's cheapest oven, but still getting there. And then I think I actually end up moving the fridge later on, so don't get too attached to it there. Again, sticking with that color scheme, wanted lots of that sort of lovely yellow. I wanted to feel like a really warm house, if that makes sense. So again, upstairs, I made the kid's favorite color orange, so I put his bedroom orange. And then for now, the parents' bedroom is a kind of a cool blue, but we do change that right at the very end, I think. So again, don't get too attached to that. And then here I'm trying to add in a bathroom, a little ensuite for the parents. I think that might be how it stays, but I went kind of back and forth on what I wanted the upstairs layout to be. I knew it had to be the bedrooms and sort of a sitting lounge room area because I couldn't fit it downstairs. But I probably could have taken the bathroom back out, but then I didn't want both the bedrooms to just be big squares, is really the reason why I put the extra bathroom in upstairs. And then downstairs, now we're trying to add in everything we need for the bathroom, shower, bath. I think I put in the cheapest ones at first, and then I decided I didn't like the style and this wasn't going to be a start home. So I swapped them back out. Is the toilet from For Rent. I absolutely love that we got the option for the Scott toilets. Just I don't know, just being able to have those additional sort of lifestyle options, I guess. I don't even know what you call it. Just the diversity that The Sims 4 seems to be committing to. It's really nice to see. And then we're adding just in a couple little bathroom clutter items. Again, I was kind of trying to stick to the budget at this point, so I didn't add too much, but in keeping, I wanted to sort of keep that color schemes, keeping those yellows, those blues, those kind of warm colors. And I wanted to add in a lot of plants for the dad's aspiration of being a master gardener. So you'll see quite a bit of that there. And then I just added in a little overhang here for the front just to make it sort of a bit more of an entryway, and add in just a single step up, just so, again, just to make it look a bit more intentional rather than like we've just popped a front door onto the side of the house and went with it. And I was really disappointed you can't put a mat on the stairs, or I couldn't figure out how to do it. So the welcome mat does end up going on the inside, but that's okay. And we had to add obviously stairs out the back as well. And I really love this part upstairs with the sort of the lounge room it becomes with just the open doorway onto the veranda. I just think that would be so nice if you actually did live there. Like, you'd get those beautiful evening cool breezes off the water. It would be fantastic. So now we're back into the entryway, which I've painted yellow. We're just kind of adding like a little hall table and some, I think we had a shoe rack and things like that. Here it took me a little while to work out sort of what option exactly I wanted to do. I really wanted to use that sort of mirrored table from For Rent, and I think I put it up in the parents' bedroom, and then it eventually doesn't end up going anywhere, which was quite disappointing, but I just could not find the space for it. But if I did it again, I would definitely add that one in. So again, just a little sort of entryway, shoes, coat rack, hall, mirror, and just some very minor decorative items because I didn't want to spend, every single thing we had just decorating things. And of course, a plant. And then originally this was going to be a dining room. So just a small little table and 3 chairs for the family. I think I move it pretty quickly and end up swapping it out. But that's why we've got sort of that hutch there with where, if it was real life, that would be where you'd have all your dishes and things like that. And then again, I absolutely love that picture we just put up, and it worked perfectly with the color schemes. I was so happy. Again, like I said, we moved the fridge just to make the kitchen flow a little bit better. The fridge was kind of on its own out the side there, so that's why we shifted it. And then just some open shelving above it. Not quite the right matching wood, but in real life you would be able to get away with that. But I was able to tuck the bin in there because I almost forgot about it. And then just some decorative items. And then I think pretty close to here is where I realized that I don't have a sink, and I'll add that in shortly. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, then we moved the dining table to there because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to go in that sort of empty space near the sliding door. So I popped the table there and turn this kind of into like an office area, which would be so nice if you did have those open windows. And I was able to just fit just the basic little computer, but it works well enough. It's kind of just an open space, and we can pop in a little bookshelf here as well. So I don't know about you guys, but my family spends like 99% of the time in the kitchen. So it would be, I think, really nice if you had that sort of space. People could be in the kitchen, people could be sort of at the desk working, but also participating. Just a couple of, oh, here's where I remember that I don't have a sink. Just adding a couple of decorative items into the kitchen. Again, I leaned so heavily on for rent for this. It's probably one of my favorite packs. I think it's like a lot of people's favorite packs, but they just have so many lovely items and so many things that just feel so familiar and homey. I just love them. And then here I was kind of like, it's a bit empty over there near the door, which was probably real life. It would be empty near the door, but it looked weird. It just looked empty and I didn't like it. So that's actually like a little bathroom cabinet from Jungle Adventures, but I popped it there, popped some kids things because I have a kid. And I think I put the paper towels over there, which, if you've got a kid, you need paper towels. So they go over there. And now we're upstairs working on it's just a very small basic lounge room. And I think I end up putting the TV like at right angles to this lounge. In real life, it would be horrendous, but I'm 90% sure the Sims can still watch it. Originally, I had the aircon sort of resting as though it was on the ground, but then I needed to move it because it just looked weird. I really wanted to have that little gramophone just so they can play some music. And then again, the dad has the aspiration for Master Gardener, so I just went a bit crazy and just added the plant light and I think some more plants and just some little, bits and bobs around the place. The marble jar for the kid and possibly another toy. And then the sugarcane tray as well, which I just love. I think, like I said, 90% of this build is just for rent. I just went absolutely mad with it. I loved it so much. But again, keeping that sort of color scheme, the warm, the oranges, the yellows. Jumping now to the parents' bedroom, I tried a couple of different beds. Originally settled on this one with kind of that green and orange, kind of almost like a grown-up version of the kids' bedroom. And they just get like a little single bed, the science center and a dresser, and then I swap them around. The little thing sticking up through the floor is the little kettle on the shelf above the fridge, but we can just ignore that. Don't worry about it. Just adding a couple of items of clutter just to kind of make it feel a little more kid-like. And that bed, because I realized at this point that I basically didn't have anything. I think it was Spooky Adventures or whatever that pack's called. So I chucked that in there. And then here is where I realized that if I also want to add the dresser, the bedroom is really tight. So I steal some of the veranda and add a bit more space to the parents' bedroom. And I don't think I even end up putting anything on the bedside table. So if you do end up using this, you could easily clutter that up. But I think by this point, it took me so long just to put those jars there. It was ridiculous. I cut out so much. So we'll just go with the headcanon that this couple is very minimalist in their bedroom. They don't like a lot of stuff. Here's where I start messing around with the stairs again. I think that's how they end up staying. But there's so much to come on the outside. It's ridiculous. So don't worry about the stairs. Here's where I decide I really want the archaeology workbench, so the budget can kind of go a little bit out the window. I end up moving it from there, but downstairs, where originally this was kind of going to be like where the parents have their work stuff. And then here is where I start messing around with terrain tools. This is kind of the first time I'd ever done anything really with all the terrain tools. So it's kind of baby steps. I basically just dug a hole and put water in it, but I'm so happy with how it turned out, which you'll see in a little bit. But this was the reason why the house was the shape it was and why I had the stairs like that, is because they have a very definite water feature going right through basically across their property diagonally. But that's kind of, as soon as I saw the lot, I was like, that's what I want to do. And I really wanted the outside stairs so that I could go around the water. And now just chucking in a couple of the necessities like some bins and landscaping, which took me quite a while. And I'm pretty sure I used every debug item you could possibly use from For Rent. But yeah, I think it turned out really nice. I was trying to really draw inspiration from all the plants that they have just around in the world. So like it's so lush and so green. I just wanted to make sure that I was kind of marrying the property that I was building into that. And again, because the whole point of this property for me, especially with that water feature part, is that the house is built into the land. It's not built, sort of on it. They didn't flatten everything and they didn't. Like, if this was real life, obviously it's The Sims, it's not real life. But if it was real life, they'd probably, it would just be a flat block. They would have, landscaped, earth moved everything, and it would be just boring. So I wanted to make it a bit more interesting. So yeah, that's why. And now I'm making the water pitch even bigger. And then I spent about 500 hours trying to build a little bridge over there. I don't know why it took me so long to figure out. And in the end, like it's not perfect, but it's kind of what I wanted it to be. So bear with me. I cut out so much of this part. But in the end, we get a little tiny footbridge across the water so they can actually get upstairs to their bedrooms and to the lounge room. But like I said, it took forever. I cut out so much of this. It's very basic in the end. You just build a room and like raise it up and stick some stairs on. But I tried like 5 different things before this. But that was sort of my goal originally. What I wanted the place to look like was that the outside stairs, the little footbridge, the water, and just the house sort of being built into the landscape and into the world. I wanted it to feel lived in. I wanted it to feel sort of established more than anything. So that's really what I tried. Again, when in doubt with the roof, just stick a platform, added like a little bit of an overhang so that when she's out there working on the archaeology bench, she's got coverage from the rain. But now it's really just kind of the last little things, adding some, some roof trim, some more decorative items around the place. I'm not sure 100% what the budget ended up being in the end, but it's definitely not a starter home. I gave them a bit more money. Now we're just kind of moving the little hopscotch thing. If I'd had more packs, I would have added, a swing set or the monkey bars in that little grassy patch there. But I didn't have those, so we just got the hopscotch and the kid can just run around. I think I had a little bit more landscaping here, and then in a bit you'll see me add quite a few rocks around the place. Again, just trying to make it feel like the house is built intentionally into the space rather than me actually building the house and then sticking all the landscaping around it. But that's okay. And that guy's just standing there because I needed him to play test to see if everything worked. I had him go up and down the stairs and across that little platform like 5 million times, but it does work. You can walk across it. So that was really what I was worried about. I didn't want it to just look good at it. I needed it to be able to, use it for your Sims. And again, just trying to match the landscaping, taking a lot of inspiration from that side bit there where you can see it around the water. So those beautiful, I think they're banana trees maybe in the pink, lots of palms, lots of green, just making it feel sort of lush and tropical and just, I don't know. I think it turned out really nice. I loved this house so much. But again, overall, it was a bit of a tricky build. I haven't done, this is basically like my first real attempt at doing anything with terrain manipulation. I'm definitely still just a beginner in that area, but definitely something I want to continue doing more of in the future. Maybe not so much with water. Maybe I'll try building up next time instead of just digging down. But I know there's quite a few people that do the sort of houses with the walkout basement. Basements are not really a thing in Australia, so I don't have any sort of reference for that. But I definitely want to try something with that one time. Here I've got this giant rock that I definitely want to use somewhere, so I just end up sticking it there. Again, just trying to make it feel like the house was built where it is intentionally. Adding just a couple bit more landscaping. I think I used like every item from Forens Debug. Just I went mad with it, but I wanted it to feel, like I said, established. I wanted it to feel lived in, and I think I achieved it in the end. I think it turned out really nice. I think just a couple more things adding. I honestly can't remember. I think, oh, we go back upstairs in a moment and take out that blue paint in the parents' bedroom, and I think add just make it like orange or beige or something. But I don't think we add anything. Oh, add some outside lights. That's what we do, so that you can actually see when it's nighttime. I don't even know what packs. I think they're just base game ones. We just use same front and back, and then we add some lights on the little footbridge. I love those lanterns. Again, like this whole build is just me going, I love everything from For Rent. Just, it's one of my favorite packs. I use the items in it all the time, and I use when I'm doing like building sims, creating sims, I should say, in Kaz. I'm constantly using the hair and the outfits. I love them so much. Just adding one more pot for the dad so he can plant some flowers. That's originally where we had that mirrored shelf unit from For Rent. I just ended up putting a decorative wall item there because it just felt like the walkway wasn't enough if we had something else in there. Now just adding a couple more items to the kids' room so that it feels like a little bit more like they've actually got something to do in there, and it feels like they actually live in there rather than just having like their stuff just placed precisely, if that makes sense. But for me, I love the color scheme of this house. I think it turned out really nice. I wanted to sort of add, I wanted it to feel warm. I wanted it to feel lived in. I wanted it to feel loved, if that makes sense. And I think I achieved it. I'm really proud of this build. It just turned out so nice. It's one of the few times that I've actually had a clear idea of what I wanted to build before I started building. The first attempt didn't go so well, so we ended up bulldozing and building this one, but I think it turned out so nice. All right, let's actually jump into the game now and see what it looks like. Okay, so you can see I built it here on this slot in Tomarang. Let's just jump in. So it looks like from the outside. I'm so pleased with how it looks in terms of how it fits, into the space. I just think, I don't know, like not to brag, but I think I did a really nice job on it. So we start off, we come in through this front door into that little hall area, just very simple, very basic, little hall table, shoe rack, a bit of decorative items. Come in, we've got our little computer area, bookshelf. If it was real life, that's where you would have all your dishes. Got the bathroom just tucked away here, shower, bathtub, toilet, sink, all your basics covered. Come through into the kitchen. Again, where we end up moving the fridge to with those kind of open shelves. Got the stove, got the little rubbish bin. I didn't forget. We have a sink that I remembered. A little dining table because it's just the family of two. We've only got the 3 chairs, so it fits into the space. And if we come outside, we've got sort of the dad's workspace. I didn't do basically anything out here in terms of clutter because I was so focused on getting this little footbridge sorted. But we come out here, you come across the little bridge, a little area for the kids to play hopscotch, and we go up the outdoor stairs, and we have the mum's archaeology table, a few more pots for the dad to grow plants in. We've got our little tiny lounge room. Again, if it was real life, not the best setup for your lounge and your TV to be like this, but in The Sims you can get away with it. Got the kids' bedroom with their cute little door. Got the wizard science set, which I've just put into a wall. A little dresser with a bit of clutter. You know, you got their books, got their bag. That from the spooky thing, because I felt like I basically didn't use that at all. Just a single bed. Again, just trying to kind of keep those color schemes, the beautiful warm oranges, the greens, the blues. I wanted it to all feel sort of connected, but not completely the same. And if we come across here into the parents' bedroom, they've got a tiny little ensuite. I didn't show that as I was decorating on this speed build because it was kind of a bathroom, but it's just got a little sink, a toilet, and a little thing. Originally, I had the shower in there, but I couldn't figure it out in terms of how to fit everything in the walkway because I didn't want to scoot everything way back into the wall. So I've just left it like that. Got a bit of decoration on the wall because, again, for me, sort of like I said, this couple, they're an archaeologist, they're a gardener, so I wanted it to feel like they've had this house for a while and they've gradually put more things into it, but nothing on the bedside table. Maybe they're a little bit more minimalist there, but again, very basic bedroom. Just got your bed, dresser, some gigantic pots if you need them. And then we go back downstairs. This is my absolute favorite part of this build and the whole reason I did it, the water feature. So it's kind of like a bit of a pond. Got some dragonflies, got some mosquitoes, because if there was standing water anywhere in the tropics, anyone would know you get mosquitoes. So unfortunate downside of life. But again, I just wanted to make the landscaping really lush, really established. And I think it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with it. I'm not actually sure how many packs end up being. I had a few. Let's see. So if we upload this one, let's actually see how much it ended up costing and how many packs we end up using. Too bad. It's really 1.5 baht, but that's okay. Can't type. I built a small family home in Tomarang with a prominent water feature. What do we even call this one? Just call it water feature home. Done. Oh, it ended up costing, in my head, I kind of had a rough budget of about 35, so 33 and a bit. Pretty happy with that. Let's share the lot and we'll see how many packs we actually end up using. Okay, so we didn't end up using everything. I think we had get to work and bust the dust. Also, I probably could have added it in like a vacuum cleaner or something, but I didn't. We only end up using just the 5 little packs. So spooky stuff, not spooky adventure. Sorry. But definitely the blooming rooms, the jungle adventure, and for rent were the central sort of features of this build. So yeah, pretty happy with that one. If you like it, please let me know, and please offer up any tips you have for building in The Sims. I've been playing The Sims for a while, but I haven't actually been playing it sort of seriously or really building anything for very long. So I'm definitely still learning and would really appreciate any suggestions people have. Thanks for watching. Bye.